Hello, SMC and listeners of the Hoikety Choik podcast. I'm Chiara.
And I'm Cianna.
And today is our 7th episode. Last week, the new commuter Dons had a special episode. And so we're very thankful that they, came and chatted. But for the 7th episode, Cianna and I thought that it would be fun to talk about things in Toronto, things we love to do, things to check out, stuff like that. We've already kind of talked about that in a previous episode, but this is like completely focused on Toronto things and things that we think are really fun and recommend others to check out.
Yes, I feel like June is here, summer is here. Things are looking up in Ontario, and hopefully by the time the fall comes around and students are back on campus, that you have the opportunity to try out some of these places safely and everything. So super excited to share some things that we've done or we've heard about other people doing.
Yeah. So something that I was thinking of when we were talking about this topic was something called Shakespeare in the Park. And so every summer, outside of COVID, there is a Shakespeare production put on in High Park. And it's really cool because the set is like built into like the wilderness. So you're like surrounded by like trees and nature. And it's usually like it starts like just as the sun's about to set. And then like by the end of it, it's like dark. So it's like the vibes are always really good. And it's not really expensive. You just have to make a donation to go in. And sometimes they only require a like food bake donation. So you don't even have to pay money as long as you donate like a canned good or like some pasta or something like that. And usually it runs from like Canada Day, so like July 1st up until like maybe beginning of September. So yeah, it's always, that's something I've used to, or outside of COVID, I've gone every single year with my family, even when I was like a little kid. And yeah, it's a really fun experience. I highly recommend if anyone's in Toronto in the summer to go check out Shakespeare in the Park.
That's so wholesome, Chiara. That's so cute. Is it every single night?
I believe so. It's every single, if not every single night, it's like every weekend, like every like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and maybe they have like one weekday show. Oh, every day except Monday, apparently.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Chiara's family, for delivering on that info. I love your family. They're so cute. That's such a cute thing to do in the city. Mm-hmm. One thing that like I kind of regret is like in my first year and my second year when we were on campus, I feel like I didn't really do a lot of like exploring. I was pretty much like go to class, go to club, and like was just so absorbed in like U of T and didn't really do much like going out to places. So like even Chiara and I, we were filming for orientation last week, and Chiara was saying like, oh, like I love summer in the city. And I was like, but why though? And like, it's things like this that like, I don't know about because I never, lived that life. But I kind of like love hearing about these things from Chiara. Another like summery thing that you can do when like September-y thing that you can do is the Toronto Harbor. They have boat tours and boat cruises. So this is something that we did during my orientation when I was in first year. The orientation team like got a cruise, like how to explain this? So Toronto Harbor, they have this boat service. And so there's types of things that you can do. One is just a boat tour. It's like a 50-minute tour. There's a student discount. I feel like it's not that expensive. It's like $24 or something like that. And it's a 50-minute tour, and they take you around the Toronto Harbor, and you can see the Toronto skyline. And it's just so pretty. And like, I love boats. I love like the wind and like the vibes. And so I like think that's so fun. The other thing that they have is they have like cruises. So those, they have like a lunch cruise and a dinner cruise. Those ones are expensive. So it's like an event for you to like go. But like, I don't know if you've ever been on this, but like it's like a restaurant and you like reserve a seat on the boat and you can, have your friends go with you or whatever. And you get a table and they serve dinner and there's music and they take the boat around the harbor and it's so pretty. It's so nice to go at night because the city is all lit up. And to tie it back to orientation, when I was in first year orientation, we did a boat cruise and essentially they didn't do dinner, but they just like played music and we like had like a dance party on the boat and you could like see the Toronto skyline and it was so hot, but like the breeze felt really, really nice if you were like out on the deck. So highly recommend. I like think that it's so like I was surprised at how pretty the city looked from the boat. I wasn't expecting that.
Have you ever gone to Toronto Island?
I have maybe been to Toronto Islands when I was really small, but I don't remember. But yes, that's a good point. You can also take the ferry to Toronto Islands. I think it's $10 to take the ferry.
Yeah, it's not super expensive. They have like a little like theme. It's not a theme park. They have like rides for children, and then like you can go for a picnic. They have like a pool, probably. They have a splash pad for sure. I think it's a bit more oriented towards children, but it's like a nice place to like go to like, get out of the like downtown core and have a picnic or something.
I think it's also just like pretty. I know like I have a friend who's been and he always told me like, oh, let's go for like a walk around the Toronto Islands because it's just like nice and peaceful. I've not been in a time in which I can recall the memories, but it's only $10. So
yeah, it's really nice. It's
try it out.
Nice trip.
If you have younger siblings.
I think you can walk there from like St. Mike's. It might be a bit of a trek, but I think you can walk there if you go down like.
Don't you have to cross the harbor though?
You can't walk to Toronto Island. You can walk to the ferry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. In my mind, I thought you were telling them that they don't need to take the ferry. They can walk to the islands. And I was
you cannot walk.
Is there water?
If you really want to, you could like swim to the island. I wouldn't recommend it, but
I wouldn't recommend it.
You might come out with an extra limb, but
Don't know how clean it is in there. But yes, it's not far, I don't think. Like Harbourfront is like 20-minute walk maybe from St. Mike's, depending on how fast you walk.
Yeah. Also, apparently Shawn Mendes lives around there. So, any of you Shawn Mendes fans? That's one thing about Toronto. There's so many celebrities around, especially around TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival. There's always a lot of them.
Yeah, but only Chiara is lucky enough to meet all of these celebrities. I've never seen a celebrity in Toronto before in my life.
I haven't met that.
That I didn't pay to go see.
Yeah, they're everywhere. You just have to be in the right place at the right time, I guess.
I'm dead. That's too funny, Chiara. I just feel like we've talked about this before. Like, Chiara, how many celebrities have you seen just like by chance? It's more than 0, which is a lot to me.
Like, it's under 10. It's under 10, but it's above 5. I don't know what that number is, but
above 5 is a lot. I think above 1 is a lot. I think 1 is a lot. Maybe my standard is low.
I don't know. Like where I live in the GTA is like there's a lot of like people who are on Degrassi and stuff like that who like live near here, and so sometimes I see them at the grocery store and stuff. It's a bit weird, but
Oh my god, that's too funny. Just like see them at the grocery store, like such a like mundane moment, and then it's like someone famous.
Yeah, or like the guy who played Derek on Life with Derek, he like lives near in my neighborhood, and so like I was walking one day to like get something at the store, and I was like, or sorry, not my neighborhood, like in the GTA, my neighborhood in Toronto. So I was like walking to get something at the store, and I'm like, Derek from Life with Derek. And I just proceeded on my way. I wasn't about to disturb this man in his grocery shopping, but like,
oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Maybe just go to the grocery store in Toronto and you'll just see all of them there.
I love that. I feel like that's a perfect segue. So one thing that I really like to do is go on like errands with my friends. So like I like grocery shopping with my friends, or like, you know, if you are in search of like, I don't know, shoes or something, like not anything in particular, like you're not going on like a trip together, but you're just like looking for something, and you just like invite someone along, be like, you want to come with me though? I feel like I prefer grocery shopping with friends because I feel like the decisions aren't as like lengthy. Sometimes I feel like a bit insecure when I ask friends to go shop, like clothes shopping with me, because like I'm the kind of person who, like, when it's not a pandemic, I have to try on every single outfit, retry it on, think about it, take a lap around the mall, come back, and then decide whether or not I have to buy it. So grocery shopping though, I'm like pretty efficient, but it's like kind of like fun to just like go with someone and just like walk around, or like take a walk like just around like the city. Our friend like Roxanne, I had visited her like a few months ago, and we just like, we had no destination in mind. We walked to the harbor front, then we walked down Yonge Street, then we went grocery shopping, and they dropped her back off at home. It was just like, you know, chill times, and you just like chit chat, and like you have a mission that you're going on.
Yeah, I think that's so true. Like grocery shopping, this is like sounds really lame, but when you become like when you go to university, I feel like grocery shopping becomes a lot more fun because like you can choose what you want to get. And so you're like, I'm kind of excited to grocery shop. Maybe that's just me, but like I really enjoy grocery shopping now.
Oh my God, that gives me flashbacks. So like when I was in high school, um, we go on this retreat. When you're in grade 11 or in grade 12, you go on a retreat, and you leave on, I think you leave on Thursday right after school, and then you stay in like this, we like have a cabin, and you stay on it Friday and like you stay Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and then on Sunday morning you have breakfast, and then you come back to school. And it's like, it's so hard to explain to people who like don't have this retreat like as part of their high school experience, but it's such an amazing experience. Like you really go there, and it's about like building trust among like these people in your class, and you're put in groups, and we do lots of like sharing. And I went to a Catholic school, so another part of it is like prayer and like deepening your faith. But what I really liked about like this retreat is that like the focus really didn't feel like it was on like, oh, like God and Jesus. It was more like a focus on you and your experience, and like showing you how you can be connected to these girls that you've already been in class with for 3-4 years, but showing a whole new side of them that you've maybe never seen before, and like really showing you like this network of support. And you know, I sometimes feel like when you go to Catholic school, like I feel like the vibe is like, oh, what can you do for God? But like the vibe of this retreat is like, what has God done for you? And what has your friends and family done for you? And like kind of like this like atmosphere of like how love surrounds you. Anyways, that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is that one of the inside jokes that comes out of this retreat with my group of like 5 girls who were in my group with me is that we all were like, we love grocery shopping together. We love just like going for like these mundane tasks. And yeah, anyways, talking about grocery shopping, I think it's fun even when you're not in university. Like us as high school students, we're like, we like grocery shopping together.
That's so funny. That sounds like a really cool experience though, like getting to go on that retreat.
Yeah, I think my school does it really, really well. Like, I don't know what, there are other schools in my area who also do this retreat. It's called Kairos. But I think it is such a like amazing experience. And there's like self-reflection, and like, it's just, Miss Kairos.
Wow.
You cry so much and you drink so much water. It's like your most hydrated time of your life.
Wow. Okay. I guess moving it back to Toronto. I think
sorry, went off track there.
All good. I feel like that's the joy of chatting on the podcast. It's okay if you go a little off track. But going back to like exploring in Toronto, I think like sometimes going to U of T, like we forget that there's like more to the city than just kind of like that little bubble. Especially like if you like where St. Mike's is, it's kind of like close to like other things. Like it's not right in the middle of campus. So you're kind of like, oh, like I venture off like campus, whatever. But like it's not that far out of campus. And so I feel like, you know, there's so much more that the city has to offer if you just like venture out a little bit from like campus. And something that's really cool about like Toronto is like because it's so multicultural, there's so many different like shops. Like there's like different ethnicity, like grocery stores, restaurants, like that celebrate all these different kinds of cultures. And I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but I saw this video and this girl was like trying to go around like Toronto and the GTA to try and like eat her way around like the world. And so she's found like quite a few different like countries that you wouldn't like think of, but like they're here. And like I think that that's such an amazing, you know, part of like living in Toronto is like you can eat your way around the world without leaving Toronto. And you know, in a pandemic, it's a kind of nice experience.
No, I love that. I love that. I kind of have a story that like branches off of that. So when I was in first year, I had 3 roommates. So 2 of us to a room and then we share a bathroom. So like it's a suite. And like these gals, they're like one of our roommates, she's like not really about spending money. And so we usually don't go out very much. But this one time we were like, we really are like craving like going somewhere. And so we were like, let's take a walk down Yonge Street, which has lots of different like bakeries and restaurants. And let's just pick a place along the way and let's like go there. So we're walking. Yonge has so many restaurants, like love it. Like we love, there's like Korean food, there's Chinese food, Japanese food, Italian. Mostly I go to Asian restaurants on Yonge Street. That's why I ran out of cultures. But anyways, the point is that we're walking down Yonge Street and we see this like crepe shop and we're like, oh, like this is kind of what we want. We want something like snacky, desserty. And so like to me, crepes are French and European vibes. And so we walk into this crepe shop and I'm expecting, you know, crepes that I've seen when I went to France, stuffed with spinach and cheese or eggs, you know? We walk in, this crepe shop is like so Asian. All the flavors are Asian flavors. It's like matcha, it's like oh, what else was there? There was like matcha, there was like salmon. So they had like sweet and savory, but like it's kind of like, have you ever been to a Roma and had like those salmon sandwiches? It's kind of like that, but like a crepe. And so like the place is called, I think it's called Tea Swirl or something like that. And I was just like, I was not expecting this. I walked in here thinking that it was going to be one thing and it's totally not what I thought. They also had basic flavors like, you know, like banana with Nutella, like stuff that you like see at like, you know, every little like crepey type of store. But I was just like so surprised by like the Asian vibes. Everyone there spoke Mandarin and I was like, wow, this was not the vibe that I thought we were going to walk into. So just to say that like there are so many like different like places in Toronto on Yonge that are like can be like fusiony, but also just like I said, like there's Mongolian restaurants, there's Korean restaurants, Chinese restaurants, like all along Yonge. I'm sorry that I've only ever been to Asian restaurants in Toronto, so I have nothing else to say besides that.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up this like fusion thing because I feel like a very like quintessential like fusion thing that comes to mind is in Kensington Market. There's this restaurant called Rasta pasta, and it's Jamaican Italian fusion, which like is two cuisines that you don't think Jamaican and Italian like food. Like, that doesn't come to mind. But oh my God, their food is so good. As an Italian, I do be vouching for Rasta pasta. Very good. Also near there's like Seven Lives Tacos, which always has like a really long lineup outside of it. Very good. Go to Kensington Market. It's amazing. It's within walking distance from U of T. Highly recommend.
It's not that far. And like another thing is that like walking around the city, if you have like a friend with you, it's all good. Like I don't mind walking far. Like I think I said on the podcast a few weeks ago that time that I went on a 3-hour ice cream run because we walked it and we took detours. It was like such a good time. It's one of my favorite memories from first year. And it's just like you unexpectedly end up like going like really, really like far, but it's to a place that's like good. And if it's a nice day, like no stress. It's a good time.
Yeah. I think that's kind of like the fun thing about the city is like, if you don't know what you want or like what you want to do, if you just like start aimlessly walking in any direction, you'll probably find something that like interests you.
Could.
I mean, Cianna and I never make decisions, so it's sometimes helpful in that sense. But you know, usually we need divine intervention to make a decision.
I would just say if you're gonna aimlessly walk in the city, make sure that you have cell service and data. Make sure you have a friend with you and be street smart, okay?
Yes.
Don't talk to strangers. Don't appear like a lost tourist. Don't be waving money around. Like you can go for a stroll. It's definitely fun, but please be safe. Please have your phone on you.
Street smarts.
Street smarts. I kind of like another funny story of like when I went for a really, really long walk. Oh my God. So I'm in second year and like I don't know things, okay? I'm in second year. I went to an all girls high school, so like I have no smarts. Not no smarts, but like, you know, some things I don't know about. And I asked someone out on a date and I didn't really realize that that's what I was like what was received on the other end, because that wasn't my intention. I thought we were gonna go like chill, right? Like I just thought it was chill, but I think that it maybe wasn't that on the other end. I think the interpretation was not as chill as I was trying to give off. And long story short is I walked. This was a 2-hour trip. We walked all the way to Greektown to have ice cream at this place there. And I can't remember what the place was, but it was just not it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't worth that much walking. And we went like kind of like later at night. Like we were walking there like as the sun like was setting. And so we got there like at nighttime. It was I'm safe. The other person, as far as I know, is also safe. I think he's fine. But yeah, so just to say that there's a lot of places that like when you like it didn't feel that long. Honestly, I was having a really good time talking to this person. Like they're like a really like nice person and everything. And like anyways, the point is that like when you have friends with you, like long walks to go somewhere, like even though I didn't really like the ice cream, I like think fondly of that memory because like I had a really good time like walking out there and like, you know, realizing like, wow, we're actually really far.
Yeah, I think that's a fun experience. You know, Greektown is quite far, but you know, you can take transit there if you'd really like to. But like also just make sure that you wear just make sure you wear sensible shoes, because if you don't wear sensible shoes, you will get blisters and pains in your feet. And so, you know, just always wear sensible shoes if you're planning on walking quite a bit, you know, invest in maybe a good pair of running shoes or walking shoes. I mean, I sound like an old lady, but like get a good pair of walking shoes because you do a lot of walking in the city, especially like even if you're just like a commuter or like a resident student, campus is very campus is very large. Like walking from St. Mike's to like all the way at the other end, like if you go to like college in Spadina or something, that's like a 15-minute walk. It's like it's a hot minute. So
yeah, if you
walk, the
walk,
way to go.
For sure. Even if you walk like north to south, like from Bloor down to college, like that can be like 20 minutes. Like it's campus is actually like it's nice that you can walk the whole campus, but sometimes it's lengthy. So I agree. Wear sensible shoes. Sometimes I know I'm a girl. I like to look nice. Sometimes I like wear shoes, buy shoes, and I'm like, but they're so cute. But will you regret it? Will there be no escape? Think about that.
So true. So true. Another fun thing to do in the city that comes to mind is like there's so many great like food and music festivals that occur, obviously outside of COVID, but yeah, there's so many. Like in Greektown, there's like I think the Jazz Music Festival occurs, and there's like in like little sorry, my laptop's gonna die. In Little Italy, there's like a Italian like food festival type thing. Yeah, lots going on. Highly recommend. Typically they occur in the summer, but outside of the summer, there's these things called Winterlicious, and then I guess also in the summer there's Summerlicious, which are like discounted like menus at certain restaurants across the city. So you can get like I think it's like you get a starter, a main, and a dessert, and sometimes you get a drink too, like some sort of beverage, and it's like discounted, so it's like not how much it would be if you were to get like a starter, a main, a dessert, and a beverage. So highly recommend if you want to like try somewhere new, or like if you want to have a fun outing with a friend. Winterlicious is Summerlicious.
Yeah. I also would recommend to like, I don't know, Kiara, if you remember, but like Gordon, Michelle, Andy, like I know that they went out with like a group of friends for Winterlicious one year, and like generally it's like a special menu that the restaurant has set aside, so you don't have access to like the full menu, but they like select some entrees, some like appetizers, and some desserts, and you can like mix and match from them, and like order something. And usually I think Michelle said like it's usually at like nicer-ish restaurants, and so like it's places that like if you were like on a budget you usually wouldn't go, but like maybe you saved a lot of money since this pandemic, because who's going anywhere, and you're like, this is the winter, this is the winter to go. Maybe this is the winter to go, but like be safe, y'all. Be safe.
Yeah, well, I don't know what they're doing for COVID, but I think it's not crazy expensive either. It's like I believe around like between like maybe 25 to like 45 maybe, some of the like higher end ones. Oh, one of them that's actually kind of cool is I think the Cianna Tower restaurant takes part in it. So you can like go up and like, you know, it spins and stuff.
Ooh, motion sickness though?
Oh yeah, I guess if you suffer from motion sickness, I don't know if that's the way to go, but I've never been, but I've heard it's a nice time.
Ooh, another thing that's like a fun like friend date or a date, I don't know, is like going to like the museums in Toronto. So like the ROM is free for students on Tuesdays. The AGO, the ROM is the Royal Ontario Museum. It's history, dinosaurs type of like stuff for people who, you know, haven't been to Toronto. There's also the AGO, which is the Art Gallery of Ontario. That's free for anyone 25 and under every day. There's also like the Bata Shoe Museum, which is like along Bloor and St. George. And there's like Ripley's Aquarium. Ripley's I feel like is a little bit expensive though, but
I feel like Ripley's is a ripoff, but pun?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah, but if you like fish, Ripley's. I went there like as a little kid. I just think like those are places where like even if you're not like super enthralled by like the history and the art, whatever, like it's kind of just like fun to like walk around with your friend. Like my friend, Jennifer and I, we went to the AGO when we were like in second year before this pandemic, and we literally like maybe I shouldn't admit this on the podcast, but we were going around looking at the art and we were like, this is like a whole meme right here. We also enjoyed reading about the history of some of the art, but some of the art we were like, ooh, this is a meme though.
There are like, and then they usually have like pretty good exhibits going on, like special exhibits going on. I think right now the ROM is gonna have like a whale one, but like in the past they've done like Winnie the Pooh. They did this really cool like blown glass one that was pretty funky.
Ooh.
Yeah, the ROM has some pretty good like special exhibits.
Yeah,
they have one on Pompeii, lots of cool ones.
I really wish that I really want to see the Winnie the Pooh one, but it went up like right around the beginning of the pandemic, so I never went to go see it.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I was hoping they'd like extend it, but then they never did.
Tears. Those listening can't see my facial expression, but I'm very sad.
Other museums in the city, there's a lot of like cool small galleries. There's another big one by St. Mike's. It's the Sculpture Museum. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh, the one that's next to Vic, right?
Yeah, it's right next to Vic, across the street from the ROM. Yeah, it's a sculpture museum. Fun fact, there was a rock there from like decorated by Yoko Ono, the like wife of John Lennon, and it got stolen. And after it was stolen, I don't know if it ever got returned, but after it was stolen, the like price of it like skyrocketed. It was a big scandal a couple of years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, there's that there. There's U of T has an art gallery that I used to work at. It's located in UC. Highly recommend checking it out. There's always some really good exhibits in there. And there's the UC Quad also back there that's like really picturesque and stuff. Yeah,
that's true. And sometimes the museums have like interactive things. So I'm pretty sure the Sculpture Museum that's on University Street, I'm pretty sure they usually have like some sort of like class or like something you can sign up for, because I feel like I always see the advertisement for it like outside. Yeah, there's also just like cute things to do.
Yeah, that's another thing. There's a lot of like cool, like there's like paint night like places that you can go to in the city where it's like you all paint the same thing and it's like you're taught how to do it. Obviously you have to pay, but it's a really fun experience. I know people who have done it and really enjoyed it. There's also like the clay ones where you can like make clay things, paint them, or they have the already made clay things and you just paint them. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, anyways, all of that to say is sometimes you can just Google things and find them. Like, you'd be surprised at what you find. Talk to people who are like from Toronto and like go to places they've recommended. Sometimes you can just like walk around and just like walk into a restaurant, like, you know, when it's not a pandemic, just walk into a restaurant that you think looks kind of interesting. Or like a cafe. Like sometimes you don't need to go to like a place. Just like, I'm pretty sure they're chopping trees out there. I don't know if you all can hear that. Thank you.
I can, but it's okay.
Thank you, City of Mississauga. Anyways, all that to say is there's also just like cute places where you can like go get like like Starbucksy type of places where they have like lattes or like bubble tea or like things like that. You can just like drop in, have a pastry, have a drink. It's like really cute.
Mm-hmm. There's some cool late night coffee shops, like coffee shops that are open till like 10 a.m. or sorry, 2 a.m. Like, yeah, there's a lot of interesting places. Yeah, anyways. We hope you have a good time exploring Toronto when you come, whenever that is, and that, you know, you love it as much as we've come to love it.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to our podcast. Cianna, is there anything else that you want to add?
No, but I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thanks for listening.
I hope you all have a wonderful day. Please stay safe. Please have a good day. I don't know where I was going with that.
All right, bye.
Bye, everyone.